Welcome to Vintage Variety. Today I'm going to show you guys some items that you have seen in previous content. All of these are items that needed some type of cleaning or repairs done to them. Some of them came from craftware repair or repurpose lots that I purchased online, and a few of them came from a fellow YouTuber. I always like to show you guys updates, and I'll also tell you guys how I went about cleaning and repairing these pieces. So I'm going to get everything set to the side, and I'll show you the pieces a few at a time. I wanted to start out with this lot of items. I did show these in previous content. All of them came in the same lot. This little brooch, I was really unsure about the rhinestones in it. I didn't think that they were dead because they still have plenty of sparkle to them. But I did think that maybe they had darkened with age, as rhinestones are prone to do. So I gave this a really good cleaning. I didn't use any chemicals or any kind of water or anything. I just used a very soft bristle toothbrush and just scrubbed over the stones vigorously to remove any old residue or dust. So I believe in the case of this brooch that these are just really dark smoky gray stones, and it cleaned up rather well. The next item, kind of along the same lines that I wanted to show you, was this very old necklace. And you can see it also has rhinestones. And these, I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, these kind of look more like a smoky grayish blue. And same method, used a toothbrush. I did clean the chain on this with a chemical, which I will show you. And then there's this one. This one has beautiful purple glass beads. And if you saw the previous content, you will recall that the chain on this necklace looked almost a gunmetal color. It had blackened with age. So I did give this a really good cleaning, and I think it looks lovely compared to what it looked like before. The next necklace out of that lot was this beautiful old check glass necklace. And I wanted to be very careful about how I clean this because I did not want to remove or damage any of this beautiful black enameling that's on the bead caps. I believe that this necklace had quite a bit of enameling on it, and it had worn off over time. Another thing that I talked about with this necklace was extending the length of it. This is a very short choker length necklace. I had different comments from you guys as to whether you thought I should or shouldn't. One of the comments mentioned just making an extender for it, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I did find these matte glass beads on Etsy, and they match up perfectly with this necklace. So I think instead of taking this necklace apart and actually altering it, I'm just going to make an extender that can go along with this necklace. One thing that I liked about these beads is they're kind of an in-between size. You can see that they're not as large as the largest beads on this necklace, and they're not as small as the smallest beads. So I do think that these will be perfect for making a necklace extender. That way the necklace can be worn either short like it is, which is a very short length, or it can be worn at a longer length. So you guys let me know what you think of that idea in the comments. So I took a different approach when it came to cleaning these pieces. Rather than soaking them in my homemade solution that I usually use, I decided to use some Brasso. And you can use this on brass, copper, stainless, chrome. I already had this here at home. I just took this out and I used a rag and gently polished these pieces up. And guys, I'm going to tell you, this worked out beautifully. It polished the old metalwork up. It took away all the dirt and grime. So that is something that I recommend trying. You just have to be careful because you do have to rinse the piece off. So like on the pieces that had the rhinestones in them, such as the brooch, I didn't use the Brasso on that. But the necklace that had the rhinestones in it, I used the Brasso on a chain, and then I just rinsed the chain off and avoided getting these stones wet that were on the necklace. I feel like it works really great, so just a tip to you can always use the Brasso. This next lot was also purchased online, and I don't recall if I showed this to you guys or not. I've had it for, I would say, several months, and I finally got around to repairing it. This is a beautiful vintage glass necklace. All of these are lovely glass beads, And this set was sold as a craft, wear, repair, or harvest lot. It was a necklace and earrings, and the only thing wrong with this necklace is it was broken into 2 parts. So I was able to use my jewelry tools and put this back together and make it whole once again. And this is a Western Germany set. I'll show you the earrings that came with it. I did clean the backs of them up. They could probably be polished a little better, and I will get around to doing that, but these are marked made in Western Germany. So a really great set to have found, and I was thrilled that I was able to repair it. I'm going to show you guys what this looks like on the necklace stand. Here's a better look at this set on the jewelry stands. If you've been collecting jewelry for a while, you know that it's difficult to find the old Western Germany pieces that are in decent condition, especially if they're made out of glass beads. And often when you do run across them, they are at very expensive prices. I was thrilled to have been able to have found this set, clean it up, and repair it and make it wearable once again. You guys let me know what you think of this set in the comments, but I think it's absolutely stunning. The next items I wanted to show you guys came from a fellow YouTuber, Found Treasures by Jean. I purchased more than what I'm going to show today, mainly because I'm still working on some of them. This is a beautiful vintage red glass bead necklace, and I haven't done anything to this one other than give it a really good wipe down. It could be restrung, but I feel like it's perfectly wearable. This next necklace is absolutely stunning. This one is vintage Japan. It's made out of glass beads, and it has a beautiful rhinestone encrusted box clasp. In the case of this necklace, I did not want to damage the rhinestones in the clasp, so I gave this necklace a very good wipe down with disinfectant wipes, and I did treat a little bit of verdigris that was on one of the connectors to the clasp. And the way I did that was I used a water and vinegar solution and a Q-tip, and this just cleaned up beautifully. It is a choker length necklace, but again, I'm going to leave this one the way it is. If you guys missed the previous content where I did unboxings on these items and you want to go back and watch it, I will leave links in the description box below this video. This is another vintage glass bead necklace that I got from Jean, and this one had been broken and tied back together. It didn't have a clasp on it. So I just simply restrung this, and I pulled from my stash of jewelry supplies and found an old spring ring closure that I could put on it. I did use flexible jewelry wire to restring this on, mainly because I want this necklace to last for a long time, and I feel like that kind of stringing material often holds up a lot better than the old cotton or silk stringing material. This is a beautiful necklace that I made out of a portion of a necklace that I purchased from Jean. It was a broken piece of a frosted white glass bead necklace. And you can see here, I've restrung this. I had some beautiful glass beads. These are clear glass beads with purple centers, and I thought that they would go well with the frosted glass beads. So what I did was I created a pattern on my beading board, restrung all of these pieces, and then I had an old barrel clasp that I put on this necklace. I think it turned out beautifully, but you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. I did want to give you guys a quick look at both of those necklaces on the necklace stand. This one is slightly longer, so I've doubled it up so you guys can get a better view of it. I love the color of the beads on this necklace. They are a red, but they're kind of like more of an orange red. This is the frosted glass necklace. As I said, this was only a portion of a necklace. There weren't enough beads to really do much with, but I was able to combine those beautiful vintage beads with some more beads that I already had here at home to create something entirely new and wearable. So the next couple of pieces that I wanted to show you guys are pieces that required repairs, and in order to make the repairs, I needed to use jewelry glue. I did have someone ask me in the comments if I could show how to go about replacing missing rhinestones. This is a beautiful vintage necklace, and the only thing wrong with it is missing a rhinestone in one of the flower centers here. So first thing I wanted to show you guys, and most of you probably already know what this is a rhinestone picker. And this is one of those tools that every time I get ready to use it, I usually can't figure out where I put it. And it's not that I'm disorganized, it's just that I'll be going through my jewelry tools, I'll run across this and I'll say, oh, there's that rhinestone picker. Let me put it somewhere where I'll remember the next time I need it. And then when I need it, I usually can't find it. I forget where I put it. But this has a rubberized tip, and you just press down on your rhinestone and it'll usually stick to it, and you can pick it up for when you're gluing it in. You can also glue in rhinestones using a pair of tweezers. So I'm going to use the bigger end of this because the small end's not really attaching very well. So I'm just going to push down, apply a little bit of pressure, and you can see there that it picks up that rhinestone quite easily, and that way you don't make a big mess when you're trying to glue it back into something. As for the type of glue that I like to use, I used to always use Hypo Cement jewelry glue, and I was very satisfied with that glue, but I did not like the container or the tube that they put it in because it was prone to cracking on the side and letting the glue spill out. So I've been using this type of glue. This is B7000, and I really do like it. It holds up very well. I feel like you get a little more in the container with this type of glue. Another thing that I really like about it is it does have the needle in the tube cap so that your glue won't dry up, kind of like super glue does. If you've ever used it, you can use it once, and when you go to use it again, the cap has adhered to the glue. So that's a really great thing about this glue. So I'm just going to put quite a few drops in there. I want to put enough, not so that I'm making a mess and the glue's running everywhere, but enough that the stone will be able to set into it. I always like to wait just a couple of seconds, let the glue get a little bit tacky, and then I'm going to use my rhinestone picker. I'm going to get this rhinestone turned correctly, and hopefully I will be able to press down and pick it up. Certainly don't want to put it in there upside down. So just drop it down into the glue, and then I'll apply a little bit of pressure. Wait a couple of seconds so it starts to adhere, and there you have it. It does say on the back of the glue to leave the piece sitting, allow it to set up for 24 hours. That does depend on the temperature and the humidity. This piece, I allowed it to set for a full 48 hours. And I picked it up, turned it upside down. The stone stayed in it very well. So that is how you go about replacing a rhinestone, and that is the type of jewelry glue that I recommend. Here's a quick look at this necklace on the necklace stand, and I really do recommend that glue, guys. It works very well. As I've already mentioned, I did let it set up for a full 48 hours just so I could be sure that the glue got dried. But you can see that this turned out beautifully, and it doesn't even look as though the rhinestone's been replaced. I'm also going to use that same jewelry glue, and I'm going to attempt to repair this pair of earrings. This is another item that I got from Jean, and I think these are absolutely beautiful. They do have a couple of things missing from them. You can see right here on the bottom of this, these originally had a hook at the bottom of each earring. My guess is these were convertible type earrings, and they had another piece that could be clipped on them, and they could be worn that way, or the piece could be removed. So there was only one of those little hooks. I went ahead and removed it because it's not going to do me any good. I don't have the pieces that would have attached to it. The other thing that's wrong with this pair of earrings is one of them is missing the post. So I'm going to try to use this glue and glue another post on this pair of earrings so that they can be worn. You'll notice here that the original post, of course, it was made onto that. And in the case of this one, I'm going to have to use jewelry glue. I don't want to try to use like a solder iron to solder it on there, because I'm afraid I may very well damage the earring or the stone that's in it. You can buy these earring backs at craft stores that sell jewelry supplies. I have a kit that I bought off of Amazon, and it has earring parts in it. So that's what I'm using. And this is just a post, and it's got a round disc on the back. So I'm going to generously apply the glue here. Sorry about the shaking camera. I keep bumping it as I'm working. So I'm just going to apply just a generous amount, and I may end up going back and applying a little bit more. I think I'm going to put just a little extra. I'm not really worried about it running around the edges. I can always clean that up later. My main concern here is to have enough glue on it that it adheres. So I'm going to try to get it in the exact right spot. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure. One thing that I'm already seeing is I probably should have took my jewelry file and very carefully filed this down a little bit just to make sure that it was going to adhere. If I had it to do over, that's probably what I would do. Or if this doesn't work out, I may go back and do that. It all depends on whether or not the earring post is going to stay on well enough so that this pair of earrings can be worn. So I'm just going to hold this in place, apply a little bit of pressure just so that it can start getting tacky and set up. And another thing I see that I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to go back and apply a little bit of that jewelry glue just around the edges to make sure that the back is on there really secure. Just like I did with the necklace and the rhinestone, I did let these sit up for a full 48 hours. I went back and I put some more glue around the edges of the post part, and it looks like it's going to hold up very well. If it doesn't hold up when I wear these, I will go back and file it down a little bit, but I think that this glue is going to work out just fine for this type of repair. Here's a quick look at these beautiful earrings on the earring stand. These earrings aren't super heavy, but they do have some weight to them, and so far so good. The glue seems to be holding that post on there rather well, so I do think that this glue is going to be a great glue for this type of repair. Hopefully I was able to give you guys some great techniques for cleaning and repairing jewelry that you can use for your own pieces. I would be really interested to know, out of all the items I showed today, which ones were your favorites, and is there anything that you would have done differently? If you enjoyed today's content, please remember to give me a thumbs up. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to share these items with me. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Ring the bell for notifications, and you'll be notified anytime I upload new content. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.